Okay, let's see if we can make this work. I'm going to try to go through all my menus here that it's going to take to be able to mix my flaps, my elevator to my flaps, so as I put the flaps down, the elevator is compensating for any pitch changes that would be in the aircraft. Well, actually in the aircraft trim. So what I'm going to do here is, I know there's several different ways people are going to do this, but I love mixes. A lot of people make fun of me for using mixes, but I love to use mixes in my radios. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go into my airplane. I'm going to go into my program mixes. Okay. You can see I already have my rudder to my nose gear set up here, but we're going to set up the flap. And I've actually already gone in here and took and did the master is going to be the flap. So when you touch this, you're going to hit function and you're going to see all your different controls and stuff. But I'm going to pick my flaps, and I'm wanting the slave to be the elevator. Okay, so there's the elevator. Okay, so there's two screens here. The first screen, you can set it up so that you're doing it like a standard mix. I like to set it up so that you're going on the point. Okay, so see where it says point here? I'm going to hit point. And what's nice about this is, and another thing, let me back up for a second. When you look at what my, I have my flaps set up actually on my B setting. And you can see the flap servos moving now. So when it's all the way down, the flaps are up. That's going to be one notch of flap for my aircraft, and that will be full flaps, okay? So what I'm going to do here is go here, and as you see, I'm just going from point to point. Okay? So right here is going to be with my flaps up, so I'm going to leave that point the way it is. This point right here is the middle point, which is actually called the offset. Okay, I'm going to pick my offset, and what I'm going to do is I am going to hit rate, and I'm going to move it up so that when my servos, whoops, I forgot to turn this on. Now it's on. Okay, so make sure when you go into the second screen you turn it on. As you can see now, when I move my controller just one notch, you can see on my elevator that there is an adjustment there. So let's go back in, and I'm going to change that rate a little bit more. Okay, and if I'm on that rate when I'm changing it, you can see the servo, so you can actually adjust the servo. If you look really close over there on the left side of the screen, you can see that servo moving. So now I'm going to go to the next rate. I'm pretty much going to make that about the same, though we're only using 3 points on this. This point doesn't really matter, okay? And then when I go to full, you see that point there, and I'm going to go to that rate. Whoops. Go to that rate, and see it says 0. Hit that, and I'm going to push that rate. Way up there. So now if I have the flaps all the way up, you can see that my elevators are in one position. I hit it to the next, now the elevators are in another position, and I hit it in the next and the elevators in another position. So it's really that simple to do a mix of your flaps and elevator. Okay, so I'm going to get back out of here. Another thing I really love about this radio is when you're setting it up, you can sit here and see what every one of your channels are going to do once you set up all your switches. Okay, now another thing I really like about this radio is when I go into the linkage and I go to function, here's all my different functions. What's really nice about this radio, and I tell you, I really like it, is that like my ramp, I'm running off this switch. But when I look at this, you see all your switches selected here, and you can pick any switch you want or any trim you want. Okay? So what's really nice about this is some of these switches have a state that they're in that you can actually go in and then fine-tune the state of that switch. So I hope this made sense for everybody. This is a very short, quick video. But I love doing mixes. So right now I have two mixes. I have my rudder and nose gear, nose steer. What's really nice about this is I've got it on the switch so that as the nose gear retracts, it quits steering. So when I flip my switch to bring my landing gear up, as soon as I flip that switch, the nose gear will go to neutral straight, so it won't be turning inside the wheel well. I got my elevator mix here. I'm going to have my ramp and my rear door mix. I haven't done that yet. I'll make sure I make a video on it. And so I hope this made sense. And there's just a lot of neat things you can do here, but this was the simplest, quickest way. Now I'm sure, I know for a fact that there are some other mixes, like where you can do your camber flap and all of this stuff, and that is flap to elevator. But I like doing the mix because it just gives me a little bit more fine tuning, at least from what I know of this radio. There may be more fine tuning that you can do here, but I really, I love mixes. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. And because I've gotten 3 emails asking me, Damon, how are you going to mix your flaps to the elevator? And this is an easy radio. It's one of the easiest radios I've ever had. And it's supposed to be a really high-end radio too. So a lot of people are intimidated by it. Thanks everybody. Hope this made sense.